everyone. In this video, I am showing you the questions related to AWS which may come in certification exams or which few of them has already come. So please look into the question and first find out the answer. You can pause the video and understand the question and select the answer. And then after that, resume the video and match your answer if you are correct or wrong. But before starting, please subscribe my channel and keep updated with the latest and upcoming videos. Okay, so to date question, most of the questions are related to monitoring and alerting in AWS. Let's start with the first question. Which services can VPC flow log records be published to? So when you enable the VPC flow logs, so first understand what is the VPC flow log. So VPC flow log basically capture the traffic flow from the VPC and to the VPC. So where we can these logs we can publish so that you can look into that in future or during the troubleshooting time. So first is AWS CloudTrail, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon CloudWatch Logs, Amazon S3 and Amazon RDS. So AWS CloudTrail is used for user activity and API logging. DynamoDB is a database, NoSQL database. Third is Amazon CloudWatch Logs. So CloudWatch is basically the monitoring tool where you can publish all the logs, you can create the alarm, you can create the dashboard, you can show you all metrics. So that could be the possible answer. Next is Amazon S3. So Amazon S3 is the object store where you can store the objects and as well as logs. So that could also be the possible answer. And next is the Amazon RDS. RDS is a relational database. So that is basically the database you can configure like MySQL, PostgreSQL. So that could not be the correct answer. So there are two possible answers. First is Amazon CloudWatch Logs and second is Amazon S3. Now you can see what you have selected. Match. The correct answer is Amazon CloudWatch Logs and Amazon S3. Now move to the next question. Which of the following may be used to capture the event history of user and API activity? So in my previous question, I have given the reference which service can be used. And if you look the options, you have seen that AWS CloudTrails, VPC Flow Logs, Amazon Event Bridge, Amazon CloudWatch. You know that CloudWatch is used for monitoring and creating the dashboard and capture the logs, so that cannot be the answer. Event Bridge is for event-driven program. You want to generate some event on some action, or you want to trigger any lambda function, something like that. VPC flow logs, which I have already shown you, that is not for user and API activity. So correct answer is the AWS CloudTrail. Now read this question. AWS CloudTrail log file integrity validation is invaluable in security and forensic investigation. Which industry standard algorithm is used for validation hashing? So this is related to the security. When you investigate the CloudTrail logs, there is a validation of the logs. So for which of the algorithm that can be used? So you can look into the option and choose the correct answer. TES, SHA-256, MD5, AES. I am pausing the video, you can guess. Okay, now if you go to the Google and search What is the algorithm for hashing the AWS Cloud Trace log file? You can see that AWS Cloud Trail uses the SHA-256 algorithm for hashing log files and SHA-256 with RSA for digital signing to validate log files integrity. This ensures that log files have not been tampered with after they have been delivered to the designated storage location. So the correct answer is SHA-256. Now move to the next question. VPC flow logs can capture the following traffic. Traffic to Amazon DNS server, DHCP traffic, traffic to and from this IP, this is Amazon reserved IP, reserved public IP, and traffic to and from EC2 instances. Now first look what is this IP. Now you can see that if you search in Google, you can see that it is a linked local address commonly used in cloud computing environment like AWS and Azure for accessing instance metadata. It is a part of this range reserved for automatic private IP addressing when a device cannot obtain an IP address from DHCP server. So this is reserved IP address and used in AWS and Azure for accessing the metadata. Now, is any guess? I am pausing the. I have already paused the video. So, traffic to Amazon DNS server. So it is a DNS server traffic that is Route 53 that cannot be captured by a VPC flow log because it is a global service. Then DHCP traffic, traffic to and from. I have shown you that is a metadata for capturing the metadata, so that can also be cannot be captured. Traffic to and from EC2 stands. So basically, EC2 stands is inside the VPC, and you have to find out the root cause during any issue. If you find you have to find out some culprit IP address, then you have to check the VPC flow log. So the correct answer is traffic to and from EC2 stands. Okay. This is good question and has already come in AWS certification previously. The question is, company has its infrastructure hosted in AWS region, Frankfurt. A requirement comes to create a new private REST API gateway that will be used only by resources within the VPC without public access. Which one of the following is the best way to securely access this private REST API? So first understand the key point. So key point is that you have to create a new private REST API gateway. You will create the REST API gateway, but that will be the private, and that can be accessed within the VPC. So it is private, so it cannot be accessed publicly. So which one of the best way to securely access this private REST API? The option is use VPC interface endpoint, use VPC gateway endpoints, use a proxy EC2 instance that will forward request to your private REST API gateway. Create an outbound rules in your security group with a destination for API gateway managed prefix. So after seeing this, and if you check the key point, option 3 and 4 are not feasible. It is not a good practice or it will not work to create a proxy EC2 instance that will forward the request. Another fourth is create an outbound rule in your security group. So security group is for the outbound rule for the from the EC2 instance. So this is also not a good. Now you have two options: use VPC interface endpoint and VPC gateway endpoint. You first understand these two. if you go to Google and search that gateway endpoints, you will get documents from AWS. This will explain what is gateway endpoints. So gateway VPC endpoint provide a reliable connectivity to Amazon S3 and DynamoDB without requiring an internet gateway or NAT device for your VPC. So if so if in your VPC you don't have any NAT device, or you do not have any NAT gateway, do not have internet gateway, then and if you want to connect to Amazon S3 or DynamoDB, you can use the gateway VPC endpoint. The most important thing is that gateway endpoints do not use AWS private link, unlike other types of endpoints. This is the most important thing. The gateway endpoints do not use AWS private link. Now, check the interface endpoint. Now, if you search interface endpoint, you can see that you can create an interface VPC endpoint to connect to services powered by AWS private link. That means interface VPC interface endpoint used is powered by the AWS private link, and you can connect to many AWS services. Now, understand what is the difference. First difference is that you have seen that private link. Now, if you search the difference between these two in Google, you will get that VPC interface endpoints and gateway endpoints are both ways to connect your VPC to AWS services. Both are used, but they differ in their functionality and supported services. Interface endpoints provide a private, secure connection to a wide range of AWS services using ENI with private IP address, and this is powered by AWS power private link. On the other hand, gateway endpoints are specifically designed for accessing Amazon S3 and DynamoDB, and they are not used AWS power privately. So if you face any difficulty, just understand gateway endpoint is used for Amazon S3 and DynamoDB, and for other services you can use the interface endpoints, and interface endpoint is powered by a private link, while gateway endpoint is not powered by the private link. So the correct answer is you have to connect to the private REST API gateway. So the correct answer is first, the VPC interface endpoints. So guys, these are the questions you can. So I am also showing you how to eliminate the and how the possible incorrect answer, and how to find out the possible correct answer. After that, you can choose which one is the best suitable answer. So guys, this is for this video, and thank you for seeing my video. Please subscribe this channel and keep updated with the latest upcoming videos related to different DevOps technologies and cloud computing, AWS, Azure, GCP, and especially my videos are coming in future regarding for the Kubernetes. So thank you guys, but don't forget to subscribe my channel.